And now the next piece that we wanted to get into is overall ACoS for your ads and how that ties in. And I think when we go through this discussion, you'll see even more how everything is a give and take on Amazon. And there's no absolutes. All these pieces are really tied in together with each other. So if we look at our ACoS at a very high level, it's my ad spend over my ad sales. And so if I look at how much I spend, it's really the number of clicks times the cost per click. And so on the other side, for number of sales, it ties into my conversion rate and my AOV and my clicks. So just doing a little algebra, we can remove clicks from either side of the equation. And so what we end up is with CPC divided by conversion rate times average order value. And so essentially what we need to do to decrease ACoS, we either need to cut our CPC back or we need to increase our conversion rate or average order value. And so you can see that for both overall sales and ACoS, conversion rate and average order value, they're both in there. So if we can improve conversion rate, it's going to improve my overall sales and it's going to improve my overall ACoS. So conversion rate is a major factor to consider for your products. And same thing with AOV. If I can increase my AOV, maybe I create bundles or I can sell more of my products together. At that point, it's going to both increase your sales and also improve your ACoS. So one of the key pieces that we always look at is how well are the products going to perform? So there's an underlying conversion rate for each of our products when we try to advertise for them. And there's going to be, we could have the best ad strategy in the world in place, but if the products don't convert to sales after those clicks, we're not going to see a good ACoS. And so, Matt, as we look at our CPC, our conversion rate, and our average order value, we've touched somewhat on conversion rate and AOV and how we work to improve those. They're probably going to be pretty similar from the ACoS standpoint. But say we're over on our ACoS target. Walk us through the moves that we need to make on the advertising side, and then we can also talk through the potential other impacts on how that ties back to the sales discussion.
Sure. Yeah. So like you mentioned, conversion rate, when you have a higher conversion rate, that also translates to higher sales too. It's a common metric between the sales equation and ACoS equation. So maximizing conversion rates always top of mind as we're optimizing ads. One of the key drivers of conversion rate is listing quality. So if you're a seller, this goes beyond the advertising arena, but if you're a seller, make sure you have a high quality listing, invest in your listing, in your keyword research, just enhance brand content, making sure your listing's in tip top shape. We can drive traffic to your listing with the highest relevance keywords, but at that stage, it's on the listing to convert that shopper into a purchaser. So conversion rate on the advertising side is really, again, influenced by placement and by relevancy. So the advertiser should always be looking to target very high relevance keywords related to that product. Pick out long tail keywords, very descriptive keywords where unquestionably a shopper looking for that, entering that phrase into search is looking for your product. Those are low hanging fruit. Even if they're lower traffic, make sure to target long tail, high relevancy keywords. For placement, that's where it gets a little bit more interesting. The higher your ad placement, the better conversion rate will be. However, the higher your ad placement, the higher cost per click will be, which is a major factor in the ACoS equation. So on the advertiser's end, one thing that you should always be evaluating is the trade-off of a higher placement worth the cost per click premium for that placement? You should be actively seeking out high conversion rate keywords that have a lower CPC. All that translates into ACoS. So as you're optimizing your campaigns, that's why ACoS is one of the major metrics that we look after. So the next piece, I guess, to improve ACoS would be looking at cost per click. So the less you pay per click, the lower your spend will be. As long as conversion rate, AOV remain constant, a lower CPC will translate into a lower ACoS, more efficient campaigns. So To influence cost per click, you adjust your bids. So max bid states the maximum amount that you're willing to pay for a specific keyword. The amount that you actually pay, your cost per click, is equivalent to the next highest bidder plus a few cents. If you reduce your bid, you will pay less at auction. Now, the trade-off here is as you pay less, your ad moves down in placement. Your ad also gets less exposure. You'll receive less impressions because you're bidding less. So potentially, by moving down in placement, you're reaching a pickier shopper, somebody that's less likely to purchase your product, that's browsed a number of other products without pulling the trigger. The other side effect is your ad displayed less. That means less traffic. There could be a sales impact by reducing your bid and reducing CPC. As such, when you're optimizing your campaigns and you're evaluating cost per click, if conversion rate's good but cost per click is too high, you should still reduce your bid. Try and walk cost per click down to a level that's reasonable, that achieves a good ACoS, an ACoS that works for your products, meets your objectives. If conversion rate falls with it, drop your bid again. Try and keep walking CPC down to a level that works. You may find that a keyword simply isn't feasible for your product. It's too competitive. Cost per click is too high. It produces too high of an ACoS. In a situation such as that, you've now created several data points. You have impressions at top of search, clicks at top of search. You know what the conversion rate and what the cost is for that placement. You've reduced your bid over time, so you know how cost per click responds to those bid reductions and how conversion rate reacts. Does it produce a favorable ACoS? As you walk that bid down, you can pick the ideal level, or you can choose to not target that keyword or product target altogether. It may not be feasible due to the high level of competition for that product. The last piece would be AOV. That's a factor in the ACoS equation. On the advertising side, it's a little bit more difficult to influence AOV just because when you're advertising higher priced products, click-through rate tends to be lower. People are less likely to click through on a high price point product. Conversion rate also tends to be a bit lower since people are more likely to purchase a lower price product on Amazon. So it can be difficult because of those two trade-offs to switch your ad mix and emphasize those higher price point products or try and influence multiple units per order through your ads. So AOV tends to be something that's a little less controllable on the advertising side. So I'd recommend focusing your efforts on evaluating cost per click at the keyword product target level to determine feasibility, adjusting your bids based on that, and then evaluating conversion rate. Am I targeting the highest relevancy keywords for this product in this campaign? And am I putting it in the placements that produce the highest conversion rate?